Going on, everybody? Good old JM here with you on this Throwback Thursday as we present yet another out of the archives right here on the Casa D18 Studios. JJ, I know, has been working tirelessly to comb through everything on the NoDQ channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, on his own Casa D18 Studios, on the J. Hebert 95 Studios, the Simple Man brand, to present to you something that you may not have seen before, something that you haven't seen in a long time, perhaps. I know I'm looking forward to what the Renegade has in store, and I hope you are too. Kick your feet up, enjoy a little respite from the craziness of a Thursday, and enjoy this classic content right here on the Casa D18 Studios.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
JJ, Jeff, you want to kick this thing off? Because I'm still trying to process everything here.
Yeah, it's like,
who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
Well,
Come on in. It's open mic night with your host.
you could maybe say there's really 4 topics, but it's split into 6.
The Renegade, J.J. Williams.
The Sammy and Eddie Kingston thing, which one's the better smelling turd?
And his panel of co-hosts.
I am the founder. We'll call me that for today since we're going with the Jeff Jarrett love theme here this week, according to JJ.
The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Karma is karma.
That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
It's showtime! Yeah! How you doing, JJ? How you doing, Jeff?
James.
Yeah.
And the He-Man, James Hebert.
Imagine Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Paul White, the Baldies! There you go! It sells itself!
God.
Get in there!
Short his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ, give it time.
Now, I'm sure Jeff has some stuff that
Dumb move, just don't pull this bullshit again. You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW Live. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. We kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He is no longer glorious. Don't you bring that up. You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... No, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen!
I literally touched everybody in the state's trash. So it's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine. And
that's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
We got it on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. That's just how the fan goes off the damn rails. Brilliant, bloody brilliant.
And again, everybody, welcome back to this presentation by the Jeff Meacham Network, as well as our affiliates, the Casa D18 Studios, J. Hebert 95 Studios, the Simple Man Studios. We're still on Insanity Work Studios, and of course, our own home, Jeff Meacham Network. We appreciate everybody still sticking around for us here after Forbidden Door. We know it's a long night, especially for you guys watching in Japan. God bless you guys if you're still watching us now. We are here. It is time for open mic night. Let's bring the rest of the boys in, including the man who is joining us now after watching along with us all the way, the Renegade, J.J. Williams. JJ, good to see you, sir. Welcome to the room. And based on the shirt you're wearing, I know anyway, even without the shirt, you are a happy boy that Claudio is up in the house.
As I said on the chat room, the bar has been raised in AEW.
Yes.
Damn it.
Without a doubt. Welcome back, of course, Noah Foster, James Hebert. Thank you all, both of you, for the excellent commentary work, along with our friend Casey Gallagher, who took his happy ass to bed because he less crazy than we.
Yes, gentlemen.
So well done right now. Goddamn. But
I don't know how I still have a voice, but God, this is again. I keep saying it, but damn it, this was the greatest night of my life. I love this show.
It's one of those. I keep hearing that phrase from you after calling stuff on my channel and throughout the Meacham Multiverse, dude. I appreciate the hell out of that stuff. I really do know. So thank you for that. That's too cool, man.
All right. So what I'd like to have right now is for all you supportive, continual fans out there watching Internet Land to sit back, prop your feet up on your little what do you call ottoman there, and just kick back because we're about to open another forbidden door. We should probably only open on a rare basis. Well, it's time for open mic night. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start with. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it up in reverse order of how we're going to actually discuss these topics because I want to make sure people know what is coming up here as we go along here. So the first thing we're going to talk about, the last thing we're going to talk about, the main event tonight is something that has been oft discussed amongst the group of us, but I definitely want to bring it up here in the room thanks to JJ's suggestion as well as the consensus. How in the world does AEW make stars out of more of their champions than just the TBS champion and her baddie clan? Like, how do they get people elevated to the point where we can buy them as, legitimate stars and, deserving of being top people, top champions in AEW and in professional wrestling? That's one of the things we're going to talk about. Third topic we're going to bring up tonight. What in the hell is this nonsense, and why has this group fallen so fast that the fact that they're being promoted on the show that can't even get a freaking TV slot? It's just a tragedy. It really is. Second topic is going to be something that James wanted to talk about first, but I wanted to make sure we talked about it second at JJ's request. Man, the injuries just keep on keeping on here in AEW and as well as WWE. Let's not shortchange the fact that both companies are getting hit by a freaking truck. It feels like it's absolutely crazy right now in the world of professional wrestling.
Well, apparently also in New Japan as well. Apparently Okada also left that match.
Exactly. So it's again, it's one of those things. It's only going to get worse before it gets better, unfortunately, and that's just the way it's going to be. But our opening topic tonight, our top story, as far as our opening story, I should say, because that's not the top story, but it definitely is something I want to talk about that JJ actually brought up to me as well. So I it's definitely worth discussion. With their victory tonight, can we finally put
Jeff?
All right, so I'll step in here while we figure out what happened to Jeff.
Technical difficulty.
Jeff, if your microphone, you might have accidentally touched your microphone thingy-majiggy and put it on mute for the record. Anyway, yes, JJ.
Basically, what I came to Jeff with, for the record, for the fans watching at home, all these topics were proposed by me for the week.
Yes,
but
yes, they were.
On the heels of tonight's show, which I know everything that happened.
Are we? What the hell just happened?
No idea.
You tell me.
Jesus Christ! I'm trying to plug top guys doing top things. And I get booted out of my own studio.
No idea.
All right. So what I was trying to say was, can these gentlemen finally be in the discussion? Can the top guys finally be in the talk for being one of the greatest tag teams of all time? And JJ, since you brought it up, do you want to go first or do you want to go last?
I can go ahead and go first if you'd like. I was starting to say while we were trying to get your microphone checked out. So
yeah, microphone and everything else.
Kind of stepped on me there, but it's all good. Having watched along with you guys tonight and seeing the coverage, knowing what happened, with their victory tonight, do FTR enter the conversation alongside names like the Road Warriors, the Dudley Boys, Demolition, as one of the greats in the tag team rankings? You figure former AEW tag team champions, two-time former NXT tag team champions, two-time former Raw tag team champions, one-time former SmackDown tag team champion, the very first ever WWE tag team Triple Crown champions.
Yes, sir.
Along with being the current AAA, IWGP, and Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champion.
Yep.
It's hard to argue with that legacy.
Do these guys now make that conversation, or is it still too early for them?
Well, what say you, sir?
I definitely think that it's something that needs to be considered. You know, I may not know a whole lot about FTR.
Respect.
I'm still kind of getting my feet wet in my knowledge about them.
Respect.
But it'd be hard pressed for me to not put them in the conversation. They've done things that other tag teams that are considered great have failed to do.
True that. Very true. Yeah. James, I just now got your question. That's how freaking botchy my computer is. I will load that promo in, and we will get it plugged before the end of the night, I promise.
I appreciate it.
So, since I'm talking to you, what say you, sir?
Honestly, yes. Because you know that the end goal is they're going to get more titles down the road. This is not the end of their gold collection, guaranteed.
No.
There's a lot going on in that. The Young Bucks could actually pull a 180 and get some gold themselves to try and one-up FTR per se. The best way you could book that match for sure is for a winner-take-all scenario is both teams should have some gold, the best you possibly can. Best two pieces of hardware that I could think of for the Young Bucks are the Impact and, just for pure heat's sake, the NWA World's Tag Team titles, and then put it all on the line at All Out in a winner-take-all scenario. I absolutely could see that being the direction that the company collectives go. But yeah, man, I mean, FTR for sure is definitely among the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. I mean, when you think of the lineage and history of all the titles they currently hold, and then the titles and lineages that, they had in WWE, it's really hard pressed not to consider them in that top echelon of teams that you mentioned. The Dudley Boys, the Hardys, the Edge and Christian, Road Warriors, like they're up there, man. Midnight Express, even. There's a lot of credibility to FTR right now, and they're probably firing on all cylinders here. It is concerning, obviously, and we'll get into my second topic in a minute, considering we see a freaking bandage around Dax's arm. But still, I mean, you can't take away what they accomplished tonight, man. They just made history in a big way.
They did indeed. And
that bandage around his arm is part of why I wanted to start with this, James, because I figured it would be a perfect segue into the other topic.
Fair enough.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the fact of the matter is, and Noah, we can get into the second topic here momentarily, but sacrificing your bodies for this business and for the glory and the honor in this industry is not a new concept. But these guys have set out. They flat out said more than once. They were even managed by this guy at one point. They want to be the Arn and Tully of the 21st century, and Arn and Tully only ever won the NWA/Mid-Atlantic NWA/WCW and WWE tag titles. These guys are going around freaking Kenny Omega and belt collecting all over the place.
Yeah.
Noah, I mean, it's crazy, right?
That's absolutely crazy. Again, when you talk about cementing a legacy, it's kind of hard to argue between the accolades of what FTR has accomplished since being a tag team since 2014. Literally, the first time you heard the mechanics, you heard of the revival, and then you saw what became FTR. They have always put tag team wrestling at the forefront, proving why they are the absolute best, but pushing forward the industry and pushing all the rest. And again, they've done it all everywhere they've possibly been. The only places they have yet to go to at this point is NWA, Impact, and MLW as far as other players in the industry. But they've covered the biggest players with some of the longest lineages to date that are the most recognized. I don't think you really can argue right now that FTR top guys truly are what they say they are. Living legends, top guys, and a standard that I don't think really honestly will ever see repeated in the world of tag team professional wrestling. They truly are the ones. Eat that.
Yeah, it's so hard to argue with the amazing success that they've had. And just think, they were part of that division in WWE that just was again being written off, like the tag team still are in WWE. Let's not even front, but again, botch, or actually not botch, sink.
No,
but
literally, it's a statement because what's tag team division in WWE?
It's a botch. Yeah, it's a botch. Yeah, that's what it is. But again,
Naomi and Sasha.
Oh wait.
They're not.
Yeah. And with all respect to those affected by their shenanigans outside the ring, you cannot deny the Usos' greatness in the ring. It's just their legacy, at least for the moment, is marred by the fact that they got away with it. Anyway.
Back to the topic at hand.
More than
Where
one.
do FTR go from here? Do they go on
Keep going up,
NWA and taking those straps? Do they try to go to Impact? Do they dethrone the Bucks?
Yep.
Know?
All the above, Jay. I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
No, Jeff, I was just about to say it's all the above, but I feel the next milestone, again, they are 1-1. Beat the Bucks.
Yep.
Yeah, which is why I said to add to your point, JJ, or to add to your point, Noah. I think that's why I recommended the fantasy booking I just kind of laid out.
Yeah,
have the Young Bucks win the Impact and the NWA World Tag Team titles purely for hate's sake when it comes to the NWA side, and then have them lose those belts, the Impact titles and the AEW titles to FTR in a winner take all scenario. You got the money match. That should be the main event of All Out if Punk isn't going to be at All Out, which something tells me that's not going to be the case. But he'll be there. But
slight detour for a moment. Why would there be more hate for them winning the NWA titles? Did I miss something?
I'm talking about Young Bucks winning the titles.
I understand that. That's what I'm asking.
The reason being is because, well, some of the audience believes in the crap that old Jimmy Boy says. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
it would be.
I got you because what I was thinking was I remember they had that botch of a run as Generation Me. I'd be wondering when the Impact got just to stick up their ass there, but I forgot about the whole. I forgot about Cornette's colorful metaphors on the air. I forgot about that for the NWA.
Impact, you could get some heat too, just because of their time as Generation Me. But there's more heat to be had with the NWA World Tag.
But again, to be fair, the heat with Cornette, and I'm trying not to get off onto that tangent again with heat with anybody that older than the over 50 club. Or actually, I Cornette the over 60 / relevant for less than 20 now years. The fact of the matter is. Cornette is now not part of the NWA, so whatever he has said about them on NWA television is, or what he said, period, is now irrelevant. And I know for a fact that regardless of how they're run an Impact, I know they like Billy and Billy likes them. So it would be a cool either team walking into the TV studios and going, "Hi," would get a pop from me certainly on a Tuesday night,
yes,
without a doubt. And yeah, the Bucks get heat. The Bucks are heat seekers. They radiate heat because they're cocky little assholes. They've been that way since I first met them. Okay, they walk out using Mbop. That's just heat for heat's sake. Okay, those guys are just out there to cause the drama. And if they went into a company, whether FTR are the champions or not, FTR come out there and go, "You guys are cute with your little theme music. We're just going to come in here and tie you in knots anyway." So yeah.
The sad part is they used Mbop just for heat's sake, and they got babyface pops for it.
Most of the time, absolutely.
Everyone loves the Bucks. Let's just be honest here.
But you have to remember, they were also in LA, and LA has become the new New York as far as cheering the bad guys and cheering the good guys.
Fair point.
Definitely happened in the latter part of the 2010s, especially when the Bucks were really starting on that rise. All right. So this next topic, I know James wants to just sink his shark jaws right into, so I'm going to go ahead and put the graphic up.
Oh Lord,
get it ready over here. I don't have the right graphic because I botched, because I'm already botching early in open mic night. Don't mind me. And James, I will say, sir, let me zoom in so I can actually see it, because it's awful tiny. I had to make it last minute because I wasn't ready. James, my friend, the floor is yours.
So,
buckle up, folks. Get a drink.
That's it. Grab a drink or three.
I, honest to God, can't tell you how much anxiety I was having going into this event, to the point where I before the event even happened, I was like, man, I might need to take a break for a few weeks from wrestling because it's really it can take the wind out of your sails of the fandom. Like when you see so many of the people that you watch get injured, and it's like we're not just talking about just nobody. We're talking like top names, even top guys in certain divisions. Like this is a bad injury bug that's happening, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know,
and not just in AEW or WWE for that matter. NJPW
now, NJPW Okada. Adam Cole was not the only one that was left on the injured reserve, which ended that match prematurely. Which I'll get to in a minute. But Okada ended up getting a concussion, and you can clearly tell his eyes were glazed over. So he ended up carrying out of the arena. You add that with the Cody injury, which I truly believe, there was injuries prior to this, but I truly believe that this was the starting point and kicked this whole thing off.
Thank you, Oos, my brother from ATW. Appreciate you. Go check out his reviews, folks, and we'll be talking again soon on the ATW View. And yeah, I definitely agree. One of the previous years, just to add a light note, Brock Lesnar facing Reigns. Let me think. It is the feud that never.
We're gonna talk more about SummerSlam as we go along here, but next weekend's Money in the Bank. We got a whole month to cover that, and I have Talk Wrestling every Tuesday night. Tune into there. NoDQ review every Thursday night. Greg and Cherry Show every Wednesday night. So this is open mic night. I give you, but we do have topics on hand.
Anyway,
thank
continue, James. Sorry.
Yes, James. I'm sorry, James. Go ahead.
I am so tired of this all happening.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just gonna put it in perspective, and I talked about this on I talked about this on ATW View with Noah on Noah's channel. So what ended up happening was JJ was in the chat, and JJ actually posed a legitimate question. And I forget how he worded it, but it wasn't as harsh as how I worded it. He basically said, do you think that there needs to be some control on, or I forget how you worded it, JJ. What was the way you worded the question on the ATW chat? Do you remember?
I think the way that I worded it was something to the effect of, do you feel like this all kind of started with Cody?
Yes.
Going out there at Hell in a Cell.
That's what it was.
Already having his torn pectoral, having a 25-minute classic in a cell.
Yeah.
To the point where now, you've got Impact, NWA, New Japan, AEW, basically having to go and try to follow that.
Yeah.
The whole Shawn Michaels coming from behind the curtain going follow that.
Yeah.
We talked about it with the fantasy booking and how we were going to book injured people because you would find a way to be there for something this special.
Right.
We didn't think people were legitimately going to go out there and try to wrestle injured like Cole did. I have in front of my face a list of 31 people that I pulled off of WWE, AEW, Impact, and New Japan that are out right now with injuries.
Mm-hmm. Some of them undisclosed, by the way.
31.
Yeah. Way too many.
Including but not limited to Omega, Punk, Danielson, Jungle Boy, Sky, Cole, O'Reilly, Fish, Cody, Orton, Zelina, Rhea, Big E, Boogs, Cardona.
Yeah. And not even just that, man, but I mean...
Cardona dropping every title he had except for like one or two because of injury rather than in the ring dropping it. Like a tragedy.
And now you got not limited to. Yeah, now you can add Okada to that list too.
Which is like a massive blow. I mean, for all three companies, by the way, I'm gonna segue, so I'll leave Cody for last. But like, Okada is the face of New Japan. He just got injured in a fatal 4-way match.
Mm-hmm.
You have Punk, who's the face of AEW, at least in its current state. He's out with injury for at least a few more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Cody out for 9 freaking months because he. And by the way, who was right about Seth Rollins' buckle bomb at WrestleMania? Because I guarantee you that's how it started getting aggravated. because it's the same freaking shoulder. But I digress.
Yeah, continue, James.
So yeah, it's so depressing as a fan when you see all this happen, especially when it was so close to a history-making night. And don't get me wrong, it still is, in spite of practically everything going wrong. Practically did, like it's WrestleMania 32 all over again. I swear to God, it was bad, man. Like they had so many injuries, one after the other, and they had 2 injuries on the pay-per-view itself. Actually, no, I'm sorry, 3 if you count Dax Harwood. So that's insane. And it started with Cody wrestling with that damn torn pectoral muscle, and now it's like, you know, JJ mentioned follow that. I'm just going to call the elephant out in the room here, which I feel like nobody else has done it except for one guy, and that was the Hibiki DMD on Twitter. He's the only one that said this, and I originally didn't want to agree with it because it's like, you know, it's still Cody's choice. So this is not a slight towards Cody at all. In fact, I still respect him that he even went and did what he did and wrestled the way he did with that. No one's going to ever take that away from him, and he deserves all the praise for doing that. However, never do it again. That's all I want to say there.
Yeah.
But I am bullshit that the WWE ever let him go out there and wrestle with a torn pectoral match for 3 straight matches, by the way. Not even just the one on TV. There was 2 house show matches on top of that he wrestled, both of which were with Rollins. So the fact that you even did that is cutthroat to AEW. And you know it's cutthroat, Vince. Let's not pretend like it isn't. You only had Cody wrestle, and you only allowed it to happen solely because of the fact that 2 nights before, Punk came out on live television and said he had to go away and heal a broken foot for 6 weeks. It's the only reason you had Cody wrestle in that match. Because let's not forget, 2013, you were afraid to freaking let Daniel Bryan sniff air. So, like, really? You're going to let this happen? There's no other reason why you would let it happen. If it was any other time, you wouldn't have let this happen. You only did it because you're cutthroat and you always try to take a shortcut instead of actually, oh, I don't know, Bueller, improve on your product.
All right.
There's my take.
Well,
it's ridiculous. Enough's enough. This is a domino effect industry-wide now. You have single-handedly crippled the industry. It's not totally broken because it always bounces back. It always does. But AEW now feels like they have to outperform. Your own guys in WWE feel like they have to outperform now because of the Cody thing. People in New Japan already have been having this problem before Cody ever uttered the word torn pectoral muscle.
I mean, Enochiism is your strongest example of it. That's where it first began.
Which is part of the problem.
I was going to say,
well, okay. Christ.
All right. So I'm going to briefly say, remember that we're talking about the news at hand.
Right.
Hang on. And not the bigger Vince McMahon is, cutthroat. And only because Noah made a great point. Enochiism is a muckerfuther. And it goes back to even before Vince was in complete control of the company.
Yeah.
This business is legendary, notoriously, for having guys go out there in less than ideal conditions. And I'm 99.99999%. I don't even need stat boy for this one. I'm pretty sure Vader wasn't working for Vince when he pushed his own eye back into the socket during a match. Pretty sure that wasn't McMahon running that match.
And I understand that.
So I'm not saying you're wrong about the industry being heightened with a bit, the need to, can you top this? But unfortunately, that is the nature, even in a fake sport, of competition. And it's not right. Totally agree with you on that. It's 100% wrong that the boys feel they have to because the guys at the top of the financial food chain are saying, or making them think they should. Mm-hmm. But as was pointed out by Cody, and, again, how much do we know is really Cody speak and how much is it, the guy behind, pulling the string behind him. But exactly. I firmly stand by that in 2022, the guys have more of a, I'm not going out there. My arm is more purple than the people eater today. I'm not going out there. I'm not. And again, a great example of that. And this is, a lot of it, I'm sure, was taken out of her hands because when you have the kind of injury you do that she does, you don't get to make the decisions. And I know it from experience. Rhea's sitting home going, mucker, father right now. Because that is they're not saying the C word when it comes to the brain injury, but that's how it starts.
Exactly.
And the style she has wrestled even before WWE is very easily leaned toward that happening.
Yeah.
Especially when headbutts is part of your offense, but I digress.
But again, I'm not trying to bring up the worst weekend in history, but it is 15 years this weekend. Headbutts from him, headbutts from Dynamite Kid. Look where that path took them. I would rather her pull herself out, and if she's done, then at least she's done and can get treatment before she heads down the primrose path, like Dynamite Kid did, like Chris Benoit did.
Exactly.
I will take 100 instances of Rhea Ripley having to do anything else besides physically get in there and risk her life than have that end result, because Rhea is still talented as hell. She can work on her mic and still be a mouthpiece, and she's gorgeous on top of it. So, I got no problem with her being in a role as long as that's what and if she doesn't want to do anything but wrestle and she can't be around it if she can't wrestle, then that's perfectly okay too, because you know what? People do just fine outside of it as long as they get away in time. Unfortunately, Chris Benoit didn't get away in time. Unfortunately, Dynamite Kid didn't get away in time. Unfortunately, a lot of people did not have the chance to get away in time because of the competitive, cutthroat nature of this business. And, all four of us in this room, everybody's still watching, the over 70 people we had there tonight all enjoy it in one way or another. But, the majority of us don't go out, on the road 200 days a year and deal with the stuff we don't get to see unless it happens to be on WWE Road Trip.
Which brings me back to the point. And pretty much everything that you just stated is basically what I want to say. Right. Enough is enough.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
If you have a slight injury where you will not be able to wrestle at 100%, and yet you still try to, like a Kyle O'Reilly, like an Adam Cole, go home, heal up, and then come back better than ever before matches get announced.
Yep.
Because
let me ask you guys this.
We don't have to set ourselves up for disappointment. We don't have to be depressed that somebody gets injured on the show, and we don't have to be worried about everybody having to be in freaking bubble wrap to the point where it's not even a metaphorical saying at this point. We almost want it to happen.
Right. JJ, Noah, you guys are both, I believe, fans during the time period I'm going to talk about, but I'll ask anyway, and either one of you can answer first. So, however you want to take it. What would you guys say was Kurt Angle's really first full calendar year? I'm talking January to December, where he completely broke it open for himself.
Honestly,
would you say it was 2000 or 2001?
I'd say the year 2000.
2000.
Okay. He debuted that November, the Survivor Series of 99. 2000,
yes,
in the year 2000, he became European champion, Intercontinental champion, Eurocontinental champion, and won his first WWF championship.
Plus the King of the Ring.
And King of the Ring.
Forget King of the Ring.
Yep. I would agree, but I would also stand on the statement of 2001 was also another breakout year for him, even furthering his 2000 awesomeness.
Right, during the whole invasion angle when he was playing on the side of WCW.
And how did he start that invasion angle, Noah? On the sidelines and backstage agents with another injured person singing Jimmy Crack Corn. He didn't care.
Yes.
You had the two top guys in the WWF that weren't named Quad Tear Boy and Scorpion King. Yep. In the back with the boss, playing guitar and having so much fun they had to retake it because Austin singing "We Are the Champions" cracked the whole damn room up, including Austin and McMahon.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is the difference between that and what we're dealing with now, because you guys hit it on the button. They're not developing stars, which we'll get to as my phone takes a shit. Don't mind me. We'll get to in topic 4, but they're not allowing the top people to develop further and also take that time away when they are hurt, because there's such this go. Steve Austin went from King of the Ring until Invasion without a televised match, as I recall.
Yeah,
you'll be right.
You're correct.
And I dare say that was the best part of that heel turn he had in 2001.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because it was so ungodly stupid that it was worth every bit of watching it. Yes, JJ.
Comedy gold.
The biggest difference between that time and right now. You're talking about the Invasion.
I know.
WWF had no competition because they had already acquired it all.
I agree with that.
We now have Impact. We have AEW. We have NWA back making moves. We have Ring of Honor coming back.
Yep.
Should be announcing their next show here probably this week. There's so much competition for them again. They don't have that luxury of, if Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't wrestle on every Raw, on every SmackDown, on every pay-per-view, we'll be fine. Who's the competition going to throw out there to steal the ratings? That's right. We own the competition.
Fair enough. Fair enough statement. But to James's point of being enough is enough, we talked about this on Friday, and I talked about it, all throughout last week. What was the only show that went up in ratings the previous week? SmackDown. Who was in the main event of SmackDown that got those ratings points over the top? The champion, who is not injured. They were just trying to give him time off, which we were just talking about. And a guy who I never in my life thought I would cheer for, because they built another star up. Yeah. Finally. Again, I'm not going to sit here and lay the fucking ticker tape parade for Vince for developing one guy, but they did it. Mm-hmm. So kudos to them for elevating Riddle. Regardless of the circumstances, they did elevate him. They did put him in that spot, and they got enough people to watch where they were the only segment of wrestling, not WWE, of wrestling, not just AEW or anybody else, of the business that pinged a positive swing in the ratings. Every other show, Raw, NXT, AEW's, both shows, the other televised wrestling that's on every week, nation or even globally, every single show went down. And again, I would give minor credit to Vince for saying, I'm going to be on the show this week. The ratings started to slip again after he went off the opening segment, and only swung back up because Roman came out there to defend the title on television.
Yep.
And again, that's credit him or not, because I know we don't like to do that on this show. But that's the old man sending the champion to the ring. It's like, hey, you got the titles, show them why. And they did it. And Riddle, we're putting you in this spot. Show them why we put you in this spot. And no, did we think he was going to win the title? Of course not. But I am a firmer believer in Matt Riddle coming out of that SmackDown than I was going into it.
Right.
And I was already a pretty solid believer despite my own damn self.
Mm-hmm.
But you're absolutely right, James. It is enough. There does need to be more like that across the board, where Roman, how many times since, I'll say, the Shield breaking up, so 2014 in June, so 8 years ago this month, how many times did we say prior to 2020, dude, I'm sick of this guy. Dude, take him off TV.
So many times.
They did it. When he came back to defend the title, bing, ratings point. So at the end of the day, the company did what we asked, finally. They did what we wanted by bringing him back at the proper time, and they got their reward for it by us watching. Now, again, I'm not going to sit there and completely, join the club because Lord knows I wouldn't be welcome to do it anyway, knowing the love for me in Titan Towers. But if they did more of that on the regular, if AEW did more than the regular, we wouldn't be seeing this list of, what'd you say, JJ? 31 people?
Yeah.
Yep.
31 people that are now dinged up in one way or the other. That you know what? So hearing you say the number 31 on something like that is like so, it reminds me so much of hearing the number of deaths between whatever 2 years it was.
Yeah.
That's scary.
That's not great.
No, it's not. And, I remember when I first started doing this and I got those numbers between where it was 97 and 02. It was like, God damn, that many, really? And then I hear 31 just since we really started doing this format. And it's like, shit, that's bad.
I mean, you've got a couple people that have been out for a minute, like Bailey.
Right, of course.
You've got people that are getting ready to come back. Again, Bailey should be ready to come back by SummerSlam, hopefully. Punk's only going to be out for a few weeks.
Right.
But you've got guys like Big E.
Yeah.
You've
How
got
scary was that?
You've got
he could have been permanently paralyzed.
You've got people like Nikita Lyons, who was just starting to get a buzz bubbling under her, and this totally derailed her.
But she's coming back next week, so at least there's that. Or actually, not next week, this coming Tuesday.
I was saying, like Bea Priestley, she got derailed, and she's going to be coming back soon to NXT UK.
Bea had a whole lot of derailments thrown her way, unfortunately, and not just physically.
Yeah.
And that's another thing to add to your point, Jeff. Like, we need more structure.
Yeah, across the board.
And listen,
it's two things: structure and self-control. It's one thing to have structure; it's another thing for the workers to want to follow that structure. Because at the end of the day, it's the workers that make this choice.
Well, and listen, you know what? I'm okay with the workers having greater control. I'm okay with that. That's fine. The owner should be responsible enough to not book a champion, or to book a champion and not book a champion responsibly.
Right.
Period. End of story.
Yep.
You need to. This is what you need to do going forward to avoid this crap ever happening again. The world champions need to defend their titles every month or compete wrestling every month, and that's it.
Yeah.
The TV champions, your TBS and your TNT champions, and if you want to extend it to all wrestling, your other
Intercontinental, your US's,
Yep. You want to do your NJPW Strong openweight title and never openweight title, whatever it is. Your X Division champion. Those need to be. Those people need to compete every 2 weeks. Fine.
Yeah. Yep.
They're the workhorses. They should be treated as the workhorses. Not every match should be a workhorse style match.
Agree.
I hate to say it like that because I understand these wrestlers want to give 110%, and I appreciate that like you wouldn't believe. We all do.
Yeah, that wrestle like it's your last match. That's the Cody mentality, especially.
Therein lies the problem. It's not your last match. It doesn't have to be your last match. You will compete again. We have so much talent on AEW right now that you could put in that spot, and you don't even need to have all the champions on the show. You don't have to have the same people every week. Dude, you for real, you could rotate world champions out. Tony Khan, in Tony Khan's case, owns 2 goddamn companies.
Yep.
And right now currently owns 4 damn titles, 4 damn tag titles. Like, you can't rotate that out?
Yep.
Are you serious? Like, just rotate your schedules and lineups in that format. And not every championship needs to be showcased. Not every person needs to be wrestling.
Right.
You don't need to do that. Showcase underneath talent every once in a while. I can't tell you how appreciative I was when I saw a guy like Konosuke Takeshita get a shot on Rampage.
Right.
Like, do more of that.
Yes.
JJ, go ahead, sir.
Another thing to point out, and I don't want this to come off as me taking a shot at Tony Khan or AEW, but the fact that they've got almost twice as many people on the list in front of me injured as WWE does, says a lot, because they're trying to be that alternative. They're trying to be that complete polar opposite to what WWE does, the professional wrestling, damn it,
That's
as
right.
opposed to the sports entertainment.
Yes.
And that is costing them their talent.
Right.
Yep.
They need to try and I feel like they need to find their balance.
Oh, agreed.
Between being the professional wrestling, Ring of Honor, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla type of independent federation that they want to present, and being a little bit more sports entertainment without falling into the WWE trap, as it were.
Right, exactly.
Right, that's such a huge viewership bubble. But I digress.
So,
and again, like I said, it comes down to, restraint and structure and a willingness to know your limits. Again, I think I talked about it a few weeks ago. What did I say? Your physical capability versus your mentality. That's really what being challenged by anybody in this industry at the end of the day. In AEW, though, being, the hottest, brightest, still shiniest, newest player in the game, there's still a lot of that young, youthful experience. When you think about the list of injuries, it's a lot of younger talent, per se, that I feel like a lot of them are still kind of going carefree. The fact that Darby Allin hasn't been involved in a hospital since I think October 2020 still astonishes me to this day.
Right.
It doesn't mean that he's not far off.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
JJ, you've been a fan of mine, again, pretty much my entire time, and I appreciate that. James, and I know I mentioned you guys have been a fan of mine for a long time. James, to get back to your point, what's one of the main things I've been saying since the beginning about championships, and especially world champions?
They need to be defended at the pay-per-views.
And only the pay-per-views, and only, honestly, the major shows. Because think about it. AEW, the NWA, and Impact have at least 2 to 4 major shows a year. Especially more so toward the 4. So that means you're getting quarterly defenses from the world champions.
I was going to say, to be fair, most of them only run quarterly pay-per-views, though.
Right.
WWE is the company that still tries to run monthly. So I
understand that.
I would say still allow the champion to defend it monthly, but then only have them defend it on Raw and or SmackDown for the big shows there, the season premiere, the old school Raws, or those type of things.
SmackDown season premiere on Fox type stuff. Exactly. Yeah. I again, I'm not disagreeing with that, but my point was, James, you brought up a point as far as champions. We don't need to see the world champion wrestle on TV. Shit. And again, it's not the same era. It's not. I'm not even going to try to pretend it is.
No, it's not.
Nor is it the Monday Night War era either. But let me go back to about the original era. When did Hogan ever defend the world championship in Superstars or Challenge or whatever? He never did, because he didn't have to.
He didn't have to. And
you had to wait till WrestleMania or SummerSlam or Survivor Series or Royal Rumble to see that guy wrestle.
Right.
Now again, Monday Night War era, totally different. You had to bump up your shit every week, and I get it. But even still, when Hogan was the champion during the NWO era, when he defended the championship on Nitro, it was a big friggin' deal.
It was.
Look what happened to him and Luger in Detroit. The freaking roofer that came off the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Yep.
And it worked. It was the highest rated Nitro for the longest time.
Look at when he fought Goldberg.
Yes.
Seriously, the Georgia Dome only didn't implode then because they actually had structure in it. I mean, and again, people are going to shit on Hogan till the day he dies or till the day I die, more like it, because that's my luck. But you know what? The dude and the company that were behind him at any given time knew how to pop a rating. Make us want to see him get his butt whooped in the heel era, or make us want to watch him defend the championship in the babyface era. Either way, it worked. And if I don't see Roman Reigns defend the championship until SummerSlam, I'm okay with that, because I just got a special occasion on SmackDown. Granted, there's a lot of shit going on right now. But if I don't see him defend the championship after that until Survivor Series, which I know we're not because we're going to get Clash at the Castle, but if he didn't defend the Survivor Series, I'm okay with that.
But Clash of the Castle is a special event.
It's
It's
special
the
event,
first
exactly.
UK pay-per-view
In years.
God.
Yeah.
Since
30
what,
years. 30 years. As far as UK being promoted as a major event, one and only was not a major event, unfortunately. It should have been,
No, it wasn't.
but it wasn't. No were the rebellions and the insurrections. They should have been more major than they were, but they were in that era where there was a show every freaking 5 minutes, it felt like. So, but the last major show, and they're actually talking about it at StarCast this year because they're having a panel with Brett, and I want to say Davey Boy Jr., Harry Smith is going to be on that panel too, because it's 30 years since him and Davey and Brett at Wembley. So it's part of the big StarCast weekend because they're going to talk about it. It's been 30 years. That was the last major WWF show that was there. So good on them for bringing it back to Wales. And Drew's going to keep pushing for it till they actually freaking announce it. Because that's what he wants to do.
Guy right now. He's going to be their main event. If he's not the main event or the draw, you don't have the freaking marketing needed to push that show.
No, exactly.
There's a reason why Brett Davey was the main event and not the WWF Championship.
Yep. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do want to add to your point, Jeff, on
yes, sir.
that as well.
I am listening. I'm just trying to get a graphic ready for the next thing. I'm sorry. I wasn't.
No, you're
fine. Everything botched on me.
For me, I think that while AEW only has 4 pay-per-views, you also got to keep in mind that they do have major television premieres.
Right.
Agreed.
Grand Slam, Road Rager,
Winter's Coming, all those things.
Like those are big. Those are big shows.
Battle of the
on
Belt.
the weekly calendar,
right?
And to a lesser degree, yes, Battle of the Belt, where he just for posterity's sake, since the show's called Battle of the Belts, probably should have him defend the title at least.
Well, yes, exactly. Yeah,
so I'm okay with the idea of the champion defends monthly, but again, only monthly. He shouldn't even be competing.
No.
Other than that, seriously,
absolutely not.
And listen,
you were absolutely right earlier when you said that the TNT TBS title for AEW, the Intercontinental US title for Raw and SmackDown, the X Division and whatever other titles Impact has going for it now.
Digital media.
Those should be the belts on the weekly basis. That should be your main event slot.
Or at the
use the rest of the show to kind of help build contenders.
And that's
build those stars so that
and your All Atlantic champion too, which we just got tonight.
But here's the thing. Again, the way they built that, though, they actually did do a lot of good work in that because everybody qualified for that match. So it was building the contenders. Now we're going to see how they build challengers to challenge the first champion. Congratulations to Pac.
Right. JJ, go ahead and make your point. I'm sorry. You kept getting cut off, brother.
It's okay. I was pretty much done with my point, but you use those belts for your main event. You build contenders to your world title. That way you don't have, like Roman Reigns, who's already beaten every viable contender numerous times.
Which became part of the story.
And us wondering who the hell is going to be next.
Or you just bring back Brock Lesnar for Roman versus Block number 27.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that, but you build your Riddles, you build your McIntyres, you build your Balors. You build these guys back up.
Right. Exactly.
Even if they've been knocked down a few pegs. And I did mention Balor for a reason because that's
I was going to say
to the next topic.
Dost thou say Balor? All right.
I declare. Why do you say it, Balor? Prince David.
You build these guys up so that they can be a viable threat.
Yes.
And may I also add, because using a game I play every now and again called Journey to Wrestling, which is a browser-based game. These are pretty much what they have for just off the top of my head that they are actually doing. So like you go Beach Break, St. Patrick's Day Slam, Fighter Fest, and or Fight for the Fallen, or they might just combine the names at this point. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Double or Nothing and Revolution and Full Gear and All Out, obviously. Homecoming, just crazy stuff like that. They have big TV shows that they need to build up. Just because you can have the world champion take a month off if you need to and slot in the Ring of Honor World Champion.
Right. Well, Gresham is back now, James. So again,
right. And by the way, the only one that was smart enough to know when he was slightly injured to stop wrestling.
Well, again,
or at the very least, less prideful. Maybe not necessarily smart. Maybe smart.
Well, also
less
James,
prideful.
James, here's another thing, and a lot of other fans and workers should do the same thing. He stays off Twitter.
Oh
yes. God.
Man, I honestly,
I should have done that over the weekend myself. Anyway,
why do you guys think the only time I'm on Twitter say hello and talk during pro wrestling and then click? I don't have notifications on. I don't read dirt sheets. I don't even acknowledge anybody.
He's purposely single. He doesn't drink, and he stays off Twitter except for work purposes. This is the smartest man in the history of the wrestling world. Thank you very much, Noah Foster. Jesus Christ.
I just keep it simple.
He's a genius. Hire him now, except don't hire him because I need him.
Just a simple man.
That's right.
It's
sticking to his simple plan. Staying off the Twitter feeds. Not giving in to the greed. Hey, he's just a sin.
Okay.
Copyright infringement.
Also, I understand the tag team champions. Tag team champions count as well as major.
Oh yeah, definitely,
absolutely.
World tag team champions. So treat it like that. They are not defending the belts until every month. I don't care how many belts friggin' FTR hold. Although they're probably going to be wrestling every week because they're madmen. I know them well enough. That's their choice, and there's not much they can do.
James,
Why?
you said it before. The mentality versus physical capability when it comes to the wrestler's stand on behalf, encouraged or discouraged by the management's plan. All those factors come into play in what's going to be a continued saga of this. We can only hope and pray it is not nearly as bad as this in a short run, because this is ridiculous to say the least.
Let me just end this off by saying that, or at least end my point off by saying this.
Go ahead.
With FTR going forward, I know they want to win the AEW Trios titles on top of all the other gold they have.
Right.
It's time to get a new partner.
Yep.
No more putting Punk at risk. I understand Punk wants to do it.
Yeah.
We cannot afford that after what happened.
Nope.
No.
At all.
No.
It is especially look at the Fatal 4-Way match tonight.
Oh, yeah.
IWGP World Title. 2 guys injured in that one match.
And they call an audible.
And they had to call an audible. And not even call an audible. Adam Cole just couldn't get his damn shoulder up and they had to improvise on the fly pretty much after.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like we need to not put our world championship and world championship caliber contenders at freaking risk of being injured anymore. And if that means you have to take CM Punk out of FTR and FTR is no longer a thing and you have to slate a new partner for FTR, like maybe Alex Coughlin or somebody like that, which would fit in nicely, or even a Silas Young.
So be it.
So be it.
Yep.
Seriously.
It is what it is.
Got to call an audible with the amount of talent on your roster. You could definitely do that. And to a degree, I will say AEW does at least try and rotate out who actually is on their shows every week to a degree.
Yeah.
Pardon my adjusting. I'm going to sit in a Skyline chair in my son's old room, so it's definitely the B studio today, kids.
Oh, y'all good. I mean, shoot, we're all good here.
So
real talk.
I definitely heard Mr. Balor's name during that conversation. JJ, did you have another point? I'm sorry, I totally cut you off. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay. Okay.
What?
I know Rhea's hurt. Okay.
Yes.
And I know they did the angle with Edge to further something allegedly.
Allegedly. What the
shit? What the shit is going on with the Judgment Day? They went from something that we were talking about on this show less than 3 weeks ago being something that was making me watch Raw every Monday night.
Yeah.
Like, not even waiting for Hulu. I wanted to see what these guys were going to do.
Yeah.
And now they're listening to goddamn Mysterios on main event.
This is not Photoshop. You're being serious.
Hand to God, dude.
This is legitimate graphic, yes.
They wrestled on main event this past week.
Yep.
This was the match. The main event, no less.
Yeah. So,
man, I mean,
at least we're in the main event, but Yeah, like.
Well, can we talk about, like, we're just talking about Judgment Day. The freaking Mysterios on the main event?
Yeah, right?
Well,
what?
I don't want to come off as a dick here, but like Dominic is still,
you absolutely can if you want. I mean,
Dominic
we're just being
is
real and
still
honest
working
here.
on his craft, so
Right.
I can understand the Mysterios being here as a way for Dominic to work on his craft.
Right.
Agreed.
And that's
Ray,
absolutely fair.
Ray, it's not fair to Ray. I know Jeff has never been super huge on Ray, especially in light of the whole Eddie thing and Ray kind of getting the rumble and that push after Eddie's passing.
But I've also softened significantly since then, so.
Right.
But the Judgment Day, you figure from Mania through Hell in a Cell, or excuse me, we're Jeff Meacham Network right now. The Red Crate of Hate.
Buy the shirts.
They were one of, if not the biggest drawing segments on Raw.
Yep.
And then Edge gets excommunicated the night after the Red Crate of Hate.
Indeed.
And Balor takes over. And within 2 weeks, they're on main event.
And
now, granted, what happened to Rhea happened. That could be part of it.
Yeah.
But at the very least right now, you have a pretty solid tag team that could be running after the Usos in Balor and Priest.
Mm-hmm.
And they are headlining the non-televised show after being one of the highest rated Raw segments ever since its inception.
Is this mess just on Thursdays now? Like, is it like after NXT UK or some shit now?
Yes.
I don't even watch it, so I have no idea.
I don't either. I was curious if people in chat room actually does know, because like
it is on a dead time slot on a app that everyone hates to begin with.
Yeah.
At one of the worst times to put on a wrestling product, period. I believe it is Thursday.
Yeah.
During the time Impact's on.
Yeah. They're running at 5 o'clock Pacific time against Impact and against, for the most of the country, primetime television.
And this is not a slight on Impact, but when Impact outdraws main event, this shouldn't be on here.
Yeah. No. And like we said, these guys, and in the absence of Roman, the program with the Usos and RK Bro were keeping me wanting to watch the actual 3-hour Monday Night Raw.
And again, no disrespect to any of these names that I'm going to throw out there, but were Alpha Academy busy?
Yeah.
The Street Profits?
Yeah.
Right.
Was the women's tag team division? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The Judgment Day? Come on.
Yeah, dude, it's so bad. So bad.
You mind if I go first on this?
Well,
actually, you know what? Noah's been pretty quiet the entire time. I'd kind of like to start with him this time.
Yeah, because his reaction to that graphic was very telling. Go ahead, Mr. Foster.
So we're trying to build up new stars, not just to save Roman Reigns, but to carry the company, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to push an original idea, reinvent some of the talent on your roster, bring new energy to your product that already itself has no flagship, top star, or even champion. And the one original thing, the one key draw that you had going on what you now cast as your B show, you freaking throw it to the side to be on something that is non-televised.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, they truly don't care. All right, that's all I need to know.
Yeah, it's...
Look, guys, I already told you, I'm simple. Why rant when at the end of the day, if I'm not interested, I don't need to watch it. I told you guys, I lost faith in the WWE a long time ago when it came to originality and star building, let alone overall engagement for me as a fan. That's when I grew out of this company back in the early 2000s and explored and discovered the worlds of professional wrestling. And whether people are standard or not, I don't judge them. Don't judge me, otherwise up yours. I am not
right on.
I am not a sports entertainment enthusiast. I am a professional wrestling fan and will be to the day I die, till WWE makes me believe once again why I should care about this product. This right here is further example of why my choices back then, I have no regrets.
No, there was a question in the chat room earlier. Do we hate WWE? It's like, and I timed them out because they were just being spammers at the end of the day. But no, we don't hate WWE at all. If we hated WWE, we wouldn't be covering the watch-alongs every single month instead of doing what we said we're going to do and only covering the big four. Show you how much of a hypocrite I turned out to be. But at the same time, it is my job and these gentlemen's right to join me in my insanity to speak out when we think something needs to be spoke out about. And the fact that this faction, which is now just a tag team now, being relegated to the show that nobody freaking watches is horseshit.
And to add to your point, Jeff, let me just add to that real quick. We don't hate the company itself.
Correct.
No. I want to make that very clear. Even if you think I do, and I probably have said that, I don't mean the company.
No,
I know it's probably a revelation to you guys. For me, I can't speak for everybody else on the panel. I hate and quite frankly loathe the individual running said company.
Yeah.
Right.
The issue isn't the company. The issue isn't the wrestlers that are in the company. We have nothing but respect for the wrestlers in the company. And
although you can't call them wrestlers, they're supposed to be sports entertainers.
I'm screw that for a minute. I'm just for posterity's sake, for crying out loud. Going back to JJ's point about, yes, Dominic is new, he's green. I get that. If it was just Dominic on main event, I'd understand that.
Yeah.
Great.
The Mysterio family
on
main event versus a team that was a draw on Raw, minute by minute.
Yep.
Are you insane?
Well,
have you lost your freaking minds?
And
seriously, I'm flabbergasted by this.
Yeah.
You had a Survivor Series built in the making. All you had to do was stretch it out to that point, if nothing else. You had Dominic, Ray, AJ, and Balor. Before any injury happened, you take Edge out of the group, and then you replace him with Balor. What?
But even so, you have a good six-man. You got AJ and the Mysterios against,
any given pay-per-view.
Yeah, against, and figure if AJ still feuding with Ciampa like it appears to be, okay, throw Ciampa on the Judgment Day side. And put Edge with AJ for, okay, here, we went to war, respect, boom, let's do this.
Dude, it is not a complicated way to do this. I would have had a field day with this.
Again, we've all talked about this, James, and JJ, you and I especially. It's not difficult to book a wrestling company. It's just a mucker for them to finance it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But this company has no excuse for that because we hear it all the time. I hear that BS all the time about the almighty dollar sign. Yes, this company, they definitely make it through multiple streams of revenue. I mean, I work for $1 billion industry in IT. I understand what it means to turn a profit. Yep. This company does do that.
Ridiculous.
So what's their excuse? Pure laziness and a lack of invested interest in who they have.
Now, again, I was going to bring this up tonight, but I didn't know. I went out of my wheelhouse enough this weekend talking about politics. I didn't want to go into financial stuff either. But the stock has gone down over 9% in the last month.
Well, I mean,
and look like it was going to recover, and then the last week it's gone down over 3.5%. So even the money is starting to falter itself.
Yeah.
Again, revenue streams are different than stocks, and I understand that part.
Yes.
But just because something is continuing to be hot on one front, how many NWO shirts are still being sold right now? Hundreds of thousands. Where's the company that they originated from? on a shelf in Titan Tower. That's right.
You have so many issues with creative and with management currently as it is right now, that it is now slowly but surely directly impacting your finances.
Yep.
And by the way, this is not a new story.
No.
I've already heard Fox executives are not happy with the fact that that SmackDown is not doing great ratings, even though they're getting a little bit better.
Yep.
Especially with Roman on top.
Yep.
It's nowhere near the projection that they had when they first originally signed. Keep in mind, SmackDown back then was still doing like 2.5 million every week, and practically when AEW became a thing, and there was another alternative and other companies as well.
Yep.
That rating dropped like you wouldn't even believe. You ran off not a freaking a third of that.
Right.
It's now to the point where it's like 1.9. You barely can break on average now.
Yep.
That is not a good sign for things to come.
No,
they
not
are
at all.
already pissed with the WWE, and I know somebody that's actually in those stock market meetings that goes to those television executive meetings. Fox is pissed.
Oh,
They are mad as hell.
Well, figure they gave that company $2 billion over the course of 5 years, and now they're going,
What are we doing? Yeah.
So
you got $2 billion, and you have no inept creativity. You have zero creativity and zero management skills at this point now to show for it.
Yeah.
It is absolutely astounding.
Yeah. In excess of 6 figures, 7 figures, basically in excess of 6 figures every year from a major network, and this is the creative we're being presented as fans. Let me put a bow on this before we move on to our main event. Speaking of main event,
Noah was calling for like a timeout. I think he had something.
No, I was talking about they can't reach the 2 million mark.
No, they can't. They can't.
And
they
then
can't.
I had something I wanted to say too.
Right.
You are the one that I expect, and that's why I love, like, you're analytical, probably do the WWE watch alongs. You bring a sense of a positive yet realistic, cautionary feedback to these topics that you present. So I'm very curious to get your stance on this, because at the end of the day, WWE, what the fuck?
Yeah. Going back to the question in the room about do we hate WWE, before I go in depth with what I want to say, none of us do. It's just that we are so passionate about what we love. That's whenever we do open mic night, it's like Pee-wee's Playhouse. That is the word for the day, is passionate.
Yes.
We are all passionate in our love for the wrestling bubble, whether we lean more towards the sports entertainment side or the pro wrestling side. We are all passionate for this bubble that we are a part of.
Agreed.
And the ratings falling on the SmackDown side of things, part of that is due to the divide that AEW caused by presenting a secondary alternative.
Yep.
And part of it is despite the fact that he is the best thing going in the company right now, people are getting tired of Roman because he's crushed everybody.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's come down to the point of, when does he lose? And do people want to tune in on the hopes that he'll lose when we know he's not going to fight every week? When we ourselves are saying that he should only be fighting at the major pay-per-views?
Right.
No, they're not going to turn in.
No.
So there go the ratings right there.
Exactly.
You know, the Judgment Day and the Mysterios being on main event, again, Los Lotharios, they were too busy.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
The Dirty Dogs, they were too busy.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I love me some Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah.
Why Dolph Ziggler is not in the main event picture, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's absurd. To this day, I find
you want to talk about rebuilding
enhancement worker.
You want to talk about rebuilding a star and making a viable contender. Dolph Ziggler, please. Bobby Roode, please.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's
those guys.
Dolph Ziggler tried to do NXT with Jonathan Breaker.
Yep.
His time will come, but do we think he's going to be the guy to dethrone Roman?
No. No way.
No. There's got to be somebody that's lying in wait. It's going to end up coming down to more than likely Drew and whoever gets the briefcase.
Yep.
But that day can't get here quick enough.
Yeah, exactly. And
you have to find a way
problem.
to keep the audience engaged, have that suspension of what if, but make it to the point that we still want to talk about it, want to fantasy book it, want to actually believe that it can happen versus you trying to do The Rock, or at this point, the only one that might seem realistic is a guy that could show up at the Royal Rumble at a John Cena-esque moment, Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
Realistically speaking, the soonest the belts would get off of Roman, SummerSlam at the end of July and Clash at the Castle in September.
Yep. Exactly.
And those are still big what ifs. And at this point, is Brock Lesnar, Drew McIntyre enough to keep us invested and waiting and believable?
And it's still a month out.
Exactly.
Yeah. They have to make us believe in another Brock versus Roman showdown over the course of the next 5 weeks.
And
God bless them.
And I don't think Brock will do it, but I think Brock could beat Roman down enough that whoever wins the briefcase could cash in.
Possibly.
Which they, of course, won't do because they pretty much just sunk all their chips in the basket. And let's just call it as it is. They don't even see Cody on that level because now there's apparently doubt in his drawing power backstage, even after what he did. So they're literally, their golden carrot is holding out hope that The Rock can somehow still be there for WrestleMania week, for WrestleMania time, and not have Hollywood interfere with those plans. That is what they're writing on.
Well,
we've talked about this a couple times. Currently, his schedule, aside from occasional reshoots and red carpet media tours, is completely clear until after Mania.
Yep.
You got to figure he's also keeping his schedule free around that time because the XFL starts up.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be busy.
So he's going to want to keep that time free so he can be there for the infancy of the XFL before he goes to shoot something and then hopefully be there when the XFL season wraps.
Right.
And that's fair enough.
He's keeping his timetable free just for that. So luckily for us, WrestleMania fits right in that time frame.
It does indeed.
Which is fine, but again, number one, I'll believe it when I see it anyway. Because
of course,
agreed. We're all of that mentality.
And they've gone again, and it's not like they haven't gone against WWE in the past when trying to book The Rock before.
Well, no.
I remind you, a couple years ago they tried this as well. So this isn't the first time.
No.
The number two, that even if it does happen, how long do we have until Mania? Jesus Christ.
I have a reason to smile.
Oh, please share, Noah.
Gentlemen, honor is real. As announced by Tony Khan, Death Before Dishonor is returning and announced for Ring of Honor return to pay-per-view by Tony Khan.
On
the day?
Saturday, July 23rd from Lowell, Massachusetts.
Of course. The one freaking weekend I had off this month. God damn you, Tony.
The weekend before SummerSlam.
Yep. Well, because he's not able to try to compete with SummerSlam and StarCast with Flair's last match. Tony's crazy, but he's not stupid.
We've learned the lesson about trying to compete with somebody else, right, Vince?
Uh-huh.
Hey.
The MGM Grand's gonna rock on Saturday. Yeah, okay, good job with that.
And Claudio Castagnoli is all elite, by the way. Official graphic shared.
There we go.
And that hug with him and Tony just made my friggin' millennium. I'm not gonna lie. Tony's got his head buried in Claudio's chest. I'm like, this is awesome.
You know,
I am so damn happy right now
I
to see
think
this
they
professional wrestling, deep professional wrestling company. Go ahead, JJ.
I think they shared the picture of his shirt being available on the website before they shared the Claudio Castagnoli's Halloween.
Right? Of course they did.
He's like, God damn it, go to the website and buy the merch.
So
hey, you got
the bunch. Oh, by the way, he's with us now. Yeah, thanks.
You got sell.
So
that's it.
So that's the main point I think regarding this is like.
Oh yeah, right. We're talking about WWE. Let me transition back.
we will have time to go back into AEW in a moment there.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely with the main event. Yes.
Tonight we're AEW centric, but this one thing really kind of frazzled me and Jeff, and it just needed to be addressed. So Jeff, go ahead and introduce our main event topic.
Yes. So the main event is.
By the way, real quick, I do realize that if I do want to take a break from wrestling after the 29th anyway, because I do want to watch Blood and Guts at the very least.
Right.
Curiosity.
I say, you realize Wednesday night is Blood and Guts.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to have to watch that, and then after that, I'm taking a break, and then I'll come back officially for that Ring of Honor show. What day is that again? 24th?
Saturday the 23rd.
23rd.
For Dishonor.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, we'll add that to the calendar, kids. So
let's freaking go.
Anyway. So, I don't have a graphic for that. I'm not going to take attention away from the screen and be a dick and not look at the screen. People are talking. So we will be covering Death Before Dishonor. There it is. Okay, very good. All right.
Very good. Yes, very good.
So, main event.
Ooh, hello.
Jade Cargill. And, of course, here with the baddies in this case.
Of course. James, control yourself.
Yeah, easy, James.
I'm good.
Okay, very good.
Wait, let me go ahead and.
Yes, JJ, please. This is your baby. Go ahead.
All of these are my topic, Jeff. Let's not try and make it sound like one is more my topic than the other. But this is something I pulled from a wrestling group I'm in on Facebook. So I wanted to kind of read the post that goes with this picture again.
Yes,
right.
And I paraphrased it, but essentially the post says that nobody in AEW feels like they have that big deal aura about them other than the woman pictured here, Jade Cargill.
Yep.
Do you feel that is true or false? 1. And 2, what can AEW do to make their stars, especially their champions, feel like more of a big deal?
Yep.
Right.
Noah, we're going to go to you first and foremost because you are our go-to guy with AEW, and then we'll go to you, James.
Agreed.
So I feel what it comes down to is who you gravitate to and how you build the strength of your champion. It is not the title that makes the champion. It is the champion that makes the title. Since Jade Cargill, an original from the AEW Rising system, she's been showcased with the likes of mainstream media attention, such as Shaquille O'Neal. She has been booked as this undefeated first ever TBS champion, trailblazing her own legacy. Hey, James, how's that diversity thing going, by the way? And also, they've constantly been figured about, okay, she wants to expand out further. She wants to be involved like in fashion and publications, having a guy in her corner, like a publicist saying, oh, yeah, we'll talk about her on ET or TMZ. You make the champion feel like the biggest thing possible, not just in words, but in storytelling. When Donna Baker, DMD, wasn't even clear to compete, she still made herself one of the biggest, if not the biggest focuses of the entire AEW women's division by showcasing her character, by keeping you gravitated to storylines, still making it about herself, and showcasing a bit of personality even outside AEW. Heck, her and Adam Cole were on Bar Rescue. It comes down to what sort of marketing and publicity you bring forward and what sort of audience you try and gravitate these amazing athletes to, not just wrestling fans. For Jade Cargill, I think she gravitates to a lot more than just your typical professional wrestling fan. And the only other names I can think of that has just a prolific type of impact per se is Kenny Omega and maybe Jon Moxley because of how much we know the name Jon Moxley. It comes down to how you build that recognition versus what they already are known for. and how you continue to build off that. Again, Jade Cargill, 33-0, first ever TBS champion. And let's be honest, she is kind of a fashion icon. So at this point, you need to try and bring another perspective to your talent besides what they can do in the ring. Jade Cargill is your biggest example of that versus Kenny Omega, who's out injured right now. And I don't think it's impossible for AEW to try and do. It's just a matter of what sort of avenues they try to pursue with. And maybe with this Ring of Honor reboot, for example, now we know their next show's coming up. That could be a start. Because again, Tony Khan, you have two companies to build stars, showcase champions, or at least have them talk or publicize or hype up stuff.
Yes.
Use that to your fullest advantage. And then go from there.
James?
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much else I can really add to that other than, like, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about in the second topic. It's you need to start utilizing these guys in different ways, these guys and girls. Like, you can't just have them wrestle every week. You need to make to remind people.
When was the last time Jade actually wrestled?
Right. You need to remind people that these guys have actually exist. Now to
a couple weeks ago,
to her credit, or to AEW's credit, they do that with some guys. They do it with Jade Cargill. Sometimes they will do it with a Ricky Starks. Sometimes they will do it, you know, with Keith Lee or whoever. You know, they decide to do a pre-tape for that week or an interview with that week. But you need more than just that at this point.
I feel like you need more consistency. Sometimes doesn't cut it. You know, Jade, whether people like her or they dislike her, and I know that there's a lot of people in the fan community that dislike her, which is going to bring me to a point I'm going to make here. So give me 1 second.
Please.
But whether you like her or you dislike her, she is a central focus every week on either Dynamite or Rampage. Sometimes both shows.
Yeah.
You know, do you feel maybe that she's being elevated to this point simply because she has so many haters? You know, if she's going to have this many haters out there on the social medias that are going to crap all over, let's give them a reason to hate her.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, at that case, you're basically booking a heel that is literally gravitating heat, not necessarily a jealous fan base. Again, I think we even said 1 week ago, what's the best type of publicity? Any publicity, good, bad, and different, it doesn't matter. You're drawing attention to your product, to the town. In this case, one of your freaking champions is working.
Is the heat she's getting, though, good heat, or is it borderline X-Pac heat?
No, it's not. It's definitely
not there yet. I think it's still too soon to say that. I think the biggest thing that will definitely answer that question is the day she loses that aura of undefeatedness and that championship, Chris Statlander. But I digress.
True. Yeah.
Because, again, that's two of her biggest strengths. First and only TBS champion, also undefeated.
I mean, the tear that she's gone on with this championship, and granted, I'm still kind of new to her reign here.
Right.
But who's going to be able to keep up with that legacy? Like, I kind of mentioned in the chat room earlier when we were having the All Atlantic match.
Correct.
You know, the next few champions that come are going to be compared to Pac.
Correct.
You know, and how they hold the strap compared to how he held it.
Yes. Right.
Exactly. You know, she is on a Goldberg-esque streak here.
Yes.
When she gets defeated, which that day will come eventually.
Chris Statlander.
Or whomever, you know, if they don't go through 5 defenses without having to lose that title, you know, it's going to be like, why'd we even take it off of her?
And to add to your point, I look at the TNT Championship and think about the legacy of those champions, and I feel right now what definitely hurt one particular star stock was the fact that literally it was hot potatoed. Sammy Guevara. And while he tries to explore the level of heat that Cody and Brandy got, now that he and Ty are a thing, it basically preserved him to go back and work under Jericho because that's the role he's most comfortable with.
Yeah. And it definitely hurt Sky's reign as TNT champion,
Bad.
getting it and then losing it for like 2 weeks and then gaining it right back.
Right. And again, we've seen countless times before in the industry, championships change hands, and sometimes on the fly, countless times with no like real reason, just like a hot shot storytelling angle, and then it still left you confused afterwards. And so far in this company's history, they've done that now with the TNT championship. Would you consider that the very first TNT champion was Cody?
Yep. And Cody was like the most prolific for sure.
Until Darby Allin finally took it off him, and Darby Allin did a very well run himself with 9 defenses.
Miro too.
Another name I'd like to throw in here as far as somebody who kind of had that aura, at least from what little I saw back in those days, was Mr. Brody Lee.
God rest his soul. That was special. Yes. Again, if it wasn't his time, there's no doubt in my mind he would have been a prolific TNT champion and a huge foundation for this company.
And then the flip side of this coin, you know, and part of why I wanted to go ahead and address this topic is you look at someone like Hangman Adam Page.
Yes, the AEW World Champions.
And how his run just was so lackluster.
It was like kind of there, but like,
you know, everyone was behind him during the chase, and then as soon as he got the belt, it was just like, yay, you got it. Who are you losing it to now?
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
And it wasn't until CM Punk came into play and Heyman made it feel personal that he felt that he was not only defending the title, he was defending the fact that he's been here since day one. CM Punk just trounced on in here. He was defending the brand, that it adds some essence to that particular championship defense, the most prolific of his reign. And it ended up being his downfall too, and people loved it.
I mean, there's no reason that Hangman shouldn't have been made to feel more special than he was.
No, that was ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's that goes to the booking, and you know,
it was to a point of like there was some point where it did kind of fall off, and it's crazy because like when you actually look at the title reign, it shouldn't feel like that because he had great matches with Bryan Danielson. He had a war with Lance Archer and another one with Adam Cole. 2 of them actually.
Correct. 5 total defenses.
But it was but that's the problem. There was so few defenses, and the problem is, yes, he had great matches. The matches are great. Kenny Omega did way more with the championship when he was the champion.
Exactly.
He didn't have to have a match every week. He had segments. He cut promos with Don Callis. Yep. He was in hype packages and video packages. He was the belt collector. You know, like now I'm not saying Hangman has to be like that.
No, you don't want. You don't want a retcon. You want.
Yeah, you don't want to retcon it. But what you do want to do is you want to make it feel important. You want to make the show, you know, feel good. You don't want to make it feel like, you know, utter crap basically because, you know,
he's just there.
You know, he's just there, like and that's the problem. He had nothing. They barely gave him anything. They gave him like what? Like I think a total of 6 promos in his entire freaking title run.
Correct.
That's abysmal. Yeah. Because the whole time I'm thinking, oh, it was just they were trying to hate on him to hate it. When in reality, it's like, no, they just didn't give him anything. They gave him 0 to do.
Exactly.
Jeff, you've been off camera for a good chunk of this, so why don't you cut him and speak on this topic?
Yeah, that was my fault. I got called away by other things. By the way, Noah, I saw your group chat. Get out of my head. Hang on, we'll get there. I promise.
Wait, what did I do?
The message you sent to the group chat.
Oh, right. I sent the graphic.
I got you. It's okay. So yeah, it's one of those things. It was mentioned that Kenny Omega didn't wrestle every week, but he cut promos. He appeared as the champion was there. He just didn't wrestle on TV every week, which is what we talked about earlier. Didn't have to.
Yeah.
And again, he was still so beat up after his run that he still had to take time away, even though he wasn't, wrestling every week. He was wrestling everywhere else every week. That was the thing. You know, but again, you know, he did it because he could, because he's Kenny by God Omega. You know, Adam Page didn't even get the freaking opportunity to be Adam by God Page. He just, you go do something, do cowboy shit. Yeah, do that.
And that was the problem. That was the ultimate problem. If they
seriously
gave him something.
How much did we pop last night for the freaking James having a Cowboy Shiznit match between Storm and Page? Like, yes, please. Like, seriously. Because we were so yearning for not only Hangman Page to have something awesome to sink his teeth into, but for James Storm to get a revitalization. Because seeing him at his anniversary was fucking amazing. But James Storm does that. He pops into a territory for a while, gets the reaction, and then goes away because he realizes to stay fresh, you do one of two things. You stay relevant on TV every week, or you make yourself be wanted again by going away.
Exactly.
James Storm was brilliant there. As far as this particular topic, I don't know what they can do at this point with the people they have. Now, they had a big night tonight. They had a big night of Double or Nothing. Now we don't know, other than the televised special, Blood and Guts. You know, we're going to be promoting our watch-alongs at the end of this show. I have nothing to promote for AEW. Not a goddamn. Because we're not going to watch Blood and Guts because I'm busy on Wednesday nights. Exactly. And Aaron will recap it beautifully because that's what Aaron does.
I'll actually be doing a live reaction too.
Well, there you
go. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We just crowned Pac as the inaugural champion for that.
AEW All-Atlantic Champion. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Let's start at ground zero here. What do you do with Pac to make this championship special and this run have that aura that Jade's run has?
I have him start the show, and I have either a enemy that has been festering come back and get in his face and build toward a main event program, maybe for Rampage or for a future Dynamite, or even prolong it even further. But I keep the champion, and I keep that championship belt in my sight every single week on television. Whether it's Malachi being pissy that Pac has it. Hell, how long do we want to see Pac and Malachi just go? Let them go. Yeah. Don't do it Wednesday night.
Yeah, exactly.
Make us want it. Make us make us want it so bad. Yeah, I mean, send them out there on the 20, what the hell's Wednesday's date? 29th, and then don't give it to us until the Friday before SummerSlam weekend, or the Wednesday before, or either day before SummerSlam weekend.
Right. You
make us chew on that shit for a month at least. Yeah. That way the ratings point will reflect the fact that we want to see this, because regardless of what some of the AEW haters will make you believe, we do want to see these guys wrestle. We do want to see these things happen on television. Yeah, so exactly. You do that. You send Mox out there Wednesday night, even for Blood and Guts. You remind the world that just because I'm about to bludgeon myself in front of all these people doesn't mean I'm not the champion. And I don't give a shit what they say. Eddie and Claudio being on the same team is going to last about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I send them out there if they're both in the match. Cool. Good for them. Which they are now, because it was pointed out that Claudio is going to replace Brian in Blood and Guts. I make that pairing the downfall of Team Kingston on Wednesday.
Exactly.
And I send them for a month. That's what you do there. Just those two programs alone, you got me watching every Wednesday and Friday.
Exactly. Well,
and again,
by the way, they do have stuff as well.
They do. You have FTR holding every freaking championship they can hold, except that one that the Bucks have again.
Right.
And we all know FTR and the Bucks just love each other to pieces.
Bucks lost tonight too, so they're going to have the Cutler camp probably on Wednesday. At least that's what I would do.
The Bucks are going to come in picky on Wednesday. Exactly. They're going to be full of P&V more than they usually are, which is quite an accomplishment for those two jackoffs. Yep. So good on them. Just saying. So yeah, Bucks and FTR, Moxley and Kingston and Claudio. Moxley against whoever's got the freaking insanity and the guts to step up to the new interim champion before Punk comes back, and Malachi and Pac.
Yep.
Those 4 programs, you're good.
I honestly would do probably Pop vs. Andrade because you can recall the history that they had. Again, I saw their first live match back at
there you go.
Cincinnati last year, and Andrade now is running a new faction, and it's already making it
Los
personal.
Ingobernables, yeah.
Pac's family ripping the mask off Rey Fenix, Death Triangle versus Ingobernables.
And on top of that, Andrade is full of P&V for not being able to be there tonight.
Exactly.
Because of Cartel Yakuza bullshit.
I feel like you need to step away from the whole House of Black and the Death Triangle storyline. Like you said, you don't have to keep on pushing it into the ground. Find a different route and then come back to it, like you said. Re-engage.
I like that. Take the heat off that program for a minute. Make us think it's been done. Have Andrade and Pac go for a while, and then when that match comes, Malachi costs Andrade because he wants Pac. He looks at Pac and goes, "You owe me one."
Well, we all know how Andrade and Malachi came into play in the first place as far as a duo, and we all saw what that led to in the short run with that match at Full Gear.
There is so much meat on just that one piece of that bone.
Exactly.
In those 4 programs that we've laid out here in the last, 10 minutes?
And to think, Wednesday night, all we have booked is that blood and guts match.
Right, and we don't even know anything that's booked.
And again, they could very well drag out this Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho thing past blood and guts. You figure, like I said, if the Kingston Claudio thing breaks up and costs Team Kingston the match, then you've got Mox and Jericho on the other side, still beefing. There is still much to be done with Jericho and Moxley because that was the first major program with the championship coming out of Jericho's championship win. That was already 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was the very first thing that gave us insight to what to expect in AEW back at 2019 Double or Nothing before Dynamite was a thing.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much potential at reigniting that feud now that until Punk comes back, Jon Moxley's the man. Exactly. And again, you still have MJF sitting over there going, they don't know I'm here. Be very, very quiet. But he did make his independent debut. I didn't get the company name, so forgive me in the chat room who said that earlier. But he did pull a whole, run in, take the mask off. I'm here now. So he is making outside appearances now, which is making us believe he's gone for good. So again, you never know. We've been talking for weeks now about, WWE breaking that emergency Cena glass tomorrow night and breaking the emergency Brock glass on SmackDown last week.
Yes.
MJF is the ultimate in case of stagnation. Break the freaking mic open again.
Exactly.
So they have it in their hip pocket. They don't have to pull that damn ace out of that hole until months away.
Yeah, and
like JJ said, if I'm Tony Khan and I really want my company to survive, I think of any way I can to get MJF in that Royal Rumble match. Just for that night, and make people shit their pants, and then he's back in AEW.
The ultimate FU to the entire sports entertainment and professional wrestling industry, where MJF, again, is going to prove to you why he's better than you know it by any means possible.
Yeah.
Yep. I was this close, you guys, not going to lie. Dylan and I went to the mall for lunch the other day. I was this close to going to Hot Topic and buying the MJF better than the best in the world shirt just because.
Yeah, and here's another thing that I want to add to everybody's point here.
Yes.
The idea that you have to have these barn burner matches every week, you don't have to have 5 a week. And I feel like the problem is, this is what AEW does. They book one segment that is a talking segment, and then the rest are, and this is no exaggeration because this is usually the format, 7 goddamn matches on a 2-hour program.
But they've been better these last few weeks, James. For example, the go-home week, you had 2 promos, and you had about 4 matches or 5, something like that, that got a more leverage with their time. And you still had some backstage segments, too. These last couple of weeks, we talked about the pace of the show. They've been better at doing that.
Well, hold on. Yes, they have been better at doing that, but the problem is, even with those 4 matches, they still went way too long, and they need to add more segments talking-wise.
Yeah. I agree.
Like, that's
particularly in the ring, not just like backstage.
You need to get these characters over like Rover, and that's the problem. They're not. Other than the people that they focus on when it comes to talking, they don't do it with anybody else. I mean, dude, there was at some point, you should be booking in the next 2 years, just as a hypothetical. Ricky Starks and MJF.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
That should be a money program.
No doubt.
Because those are two of your best mic talkers ever in the company. They're your next Rocket Austin, as far as I'm concerned, promo ability-wise. They could make a feud like you wouldn't believe, just up promos alone.
James, think of it this way. What was the reason Taz created that title in the first place? Do you remember?
The reason Taz created the title was because
back in 98.
It was back
Zero
in 98.
Fs.
0 Fs given, and it was in a promo section.
That, and he couldn't get a shot at Shane Douglas as the world champion because Douglas was hurt.
Right.
So he's like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the freaking champion anyway. Here's the proof. If MJF can beat Ricky Starks and be the uncrowned world champion of this company,
right,
and start just like, well, freaking Punk's hurt. They got this paper guy that won an interim match. Good for him. I got a championship I'd be a legitimate athlete for.
Right.
Dude, that's money. That is so good, James. Love that shit. Love that shit.
Actually, do it now. Do it next week. Start
Seriously.
early. Like, and that's what we need to start doing.
Yep.
We need to start booking segments with characters. Right now, you currently don't have Punk, you currently don't have MJF, and you currently don't have Omega. Those are your three best talkers right now.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
They're not on the show. You need to start booking other talkers to fill that void. AEW, as good as they've been when it comes to match quality, has not been able to do that, and therein lies the fundamental problem.
Yep.
Exactly.
JJ's got his hand up.
Yes, sir.
By booking them more as characters, do they run the risk of turning more into sports entertainment, which is what they're trying to avoid?
Well, because like I said, friend James, I know you want, but I'm just going to cut real quick because there's just a very simple answer to this.
Yeah.
Yes, they've been saying they want to avoid sports entertainment, but like I've said from the beginning, every wrestling thing you've ever seen on television since 1983 has been sports entertainment. So people going out there and cutting promos to build a story is not necessarily a complete 180 from what you're doing. It's just, what degree do you do it? How do you present it? If you go out there like a goddamn cartoon character with a clown wig on or an occupation, then you're sports entertainment to the worst degree. If you go out there and have a good mix, like AEW has done, I will give them credit for that. They had a good mix of great talkers without coming off very cartoonish. It's the same thing WCW did in the mid-90s. They had guys cutting promos, but they weren't coming off like freaking, people, straight off freaking Saturday morning ABC cartoons.
Yes, exactly.
So that's the way to do it.
It kind of helps, though, here, Jeff, that, again, they're unscripted and they don't have writers.
Which can be a blessing and a curse sometimes.
I was going to say, Flair said it for many years, he had to finally tell a girl, it's like, dude, bullet points. I'm not going to read a script. Just give me bullet points. And I swear to God, I'll hit him because I'm Rick fucking Flair. Just tell me what I got to say, and I'll hit it my way.
Right.
That's what they're apparently doing. Well, again, Dallas definitely worked on his craft. You saw him.
Right.
He got the most improved in the world that year for a reason.
Right.
He improved on every front, not just in the ring.
But my point is, DDP did that too during the Monday Night Wars. The Rock did that when he was cutting promos. Austin did that.
Well, again, it comes down to your delivery and the presentation. There's a reason why guys like Chris Jericho, like John Moxley, like Eddie Kingston can literally sell you on practically anything.
Let me.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No,
all right. I was just gonna say. Think of, if you want to put a negative connotation to sports entertainment, which I totally can understand sometimes, because Lord knows sports entertainment has gotten really mucky.
It has a dirty phrase because
who freaking created it.
I was going to say it's the person that coined it that makes it have a dirty taste in our mouth. It's really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
So let me offer this counteractive point: the very thing they wanted to be, sports oriented content.
Yeah, sports-oriented entertainment. Yeah,
I will use a sports-oriented content to fulfill my example. What is one of the highest drawing pay-per-view numbers for the UFC ever. Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor. You know what sold that fight? Their promo. Ability.
Their promo.
Their promo ability was leagues above everybody else in the combat sports world.
Yep.
Period, bar none. Still is to this day. That is what sold the tickets. That is what sold the pay-per-views. You know, another example, you know, even though he's not the greatest example, you know, he's not the greatest mic talker in the world, why did Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield draw? Their promo ability. That's what we need to start doing. Dude, seriously, like we need more promos. Hell, if you can't fit a promo, right, for everything, do what the UFC does. After every match, have Tony Schiavone interview them right on the stage. This is what we should be doing. Let them get some mic time. Like it's ingrained into the show that they get mic time.
As silly as this is going to sound to people that have only been fans since Attitude Era Post, probably, think about it this way. The old enhancement shows, the superstars, the challenges, y'all Americans, would have these guys that were main event, you know, just kill these local kids.
Right.
But to build the pay-per-views, what would they do? They'd go out to that big platform with Craig DeGeorge or Brother Love or Mean Gene, have Hogan come out, do his thing, and then tell you why you want to buy the pay-per-view the next week.
Yep.
It's not hard to book wrestling. It's just hard to finance it. That's the next fucking shirt. The hell with anything else.
That's
the most accurate. That's the most accurate statement about the industry I've ever heard in my life. Period.
And you know what? I'll do you one better. You want people to actually start paying attention to this company and the athletes involved. Not. There's no slight on Tony Schiavone, but if you want to have an interviewer for the winner and an interviewer for the loser after every match, have Joe Rogan interview the winner and have Tony Schiavone interview the loser. Now you really make a sports oriented.
And
for real, right? we know over the years now officially that Joe Rogan's changed his stance on wrestling. So why the hell not? Bring him in.
Could happen.
Before I go to before I go to the plugs, JJ, do you have anything further to add on this or
no?
I have one thing I want to add.
I mean, look at Britt Baker. Look at her
guys. I asked JJ if he had something to say. I didn't hear his answer because everybody talked over him. Sorry.
I said no.
Okay, so I'll make sure. Sorry. Sorry. All I heard was James and Noah. I'm like, I didn't say either one of their names. Okay.
It's about the plugs for me.
So James, you had something to point out, but no, you were saying look at Britt Baker, and then I cut you off. So.
I was just saying, again, while we're only talking about the man, the same thing applies for the women as well, which has always been one of our heaviest criticisms, not just in AEW, but I feel like one of those things that probably people don't think about in the women's side of the industry in general. And looking at these simple, like 90-second promos on YouTube for the All Women's Promotion, Capital Championship Wrestling for the likes of Kayla Sparks, Kylan King, Christina Marie, that, again, engages you who they are and what they're trying to sell you. Do more of that.
Exactly.
Yes. Amen.
So, James, I want to try to put a bow on this, but what was your point you wanted to make real quick?
I just wanted to let you know that I sent you 3 new graphics for FTW Productions.
Well, see, if you'd have just let me transition the way I wanted to, I was going to go right into it. But since you botched it, let me go ahead and rewind John Cena style. James, you've been talking all night about stuff we have to do, stuff we need to do to make the products better across the board. Well, what you guys need to do here at home is every single week watch AEW Spark on youtube.com/WrestlingFortune44. What you need to do is tune in this Wednesday night to check out live reactions to Blood and Guts as Jericho Appreciation Society faces Blackpool Combat Club. And more importantly, at least on the video front, what you need to do is tune in this Tuesday night.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control.
I promise you, brother, if you let me build it and control the flow of the show, I got you.
Nice.
Watch that shit this week, brothers. I'm telling you. It's going to be good shit this week from James. I'll tell you what.
Good shit, pal.
For the record, Indy Force, since we weren't able to get the graphic with the day, this Tuesday afternoon. Don't know the specific time yet because we're going to be busy setting it up, but it will be Tuesday in the afternoon. So if anybody wants to check that out, definitely go check that out.
Yes. All right. Anything, Noah, you would like to promote as far as this coming week anyway?
Basically, just say yes to NoDQ. Stay tuned for the NoDQ preview predictions for Hush Money in the Bank later this week. And, of course, the NoDQ Galaxy Predictions panel on my simple YouTube channel. And, of course, I will be right back here with JJ on commentary with me as we call, react, and analyze the reaction for Hush Money in the Bank live right here on the Jeff Meacham Network. So stay tuned for more on that. And as always, I'd like to conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. There are just fans with own opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. Simple.
Damn it.
That's right. Speaking of that, by the way, JJ, thank you for the segue, as you do. You can check out ProWrestlingTees.com/Jeff Meacham Network right now. The 4 shirts shop and wow, okay. I had a drink of alcohol. I'm already botching shit. Cool. All right. The 4 shirts on the top row and the one in the middle are already on sale. Hopefully coming soon. Noah Foster's it's professional wrestling, damn it. But I digress. Shirt coming soon, as well as James's safety streak in F-bombs still at that 0, brother. Well, hopefully that shirt will be coming soon. Hopefully those are in the queue for approval. The next one, like I said, is going to be, it ain't hard to book. It's just hard to finance. That shit is going to be a thing. I swear to God. All right.
Amen.
JJ, you are starting off our week on the Jeff Meacham Network /Casa side of things tomorrow, sir.
Dude, I have got so much crap going on this week. Like, between work and this stuff that come 4th of July, we'll see if I'm still standing.
We'll see if he's sober come next Monday night after 4th of July, watching fireworks, not having a damn thing to do because we're going to pre-tape for the first time in a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Brilliant strategy.
We've got Kick-Ass 2, my review for that, going live 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, because immediately following
we'll do that then.
will be John Cena's greatest matches on the Dads, not only on wrestling. 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. In addition to all that, tomorrow we're going to be pre-taping, as Jeff mentioned, for air on 4th of July.
Yes.
Our top 10 Will Smith songs.
Yes. And that is a collaborative effort, by the way.
Yes. It is a collective lift because Jeff is not very knowledgeable about hip-hop music in general, let alone, you can maybe come up with about 4 or 5 Will Smith songs. So I have put together a top 10 during the DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince era, as well as a top 10 Will Smith solo. So there will be 20 songs as if there were 2 lists. It's just curated by me who grew up listening to that. I was telling CC this weekend, when I got my first boombox back in the 80s, my first 3 cassettes were LL Cool J's Radio, his debut album, the Fat Boys, Crushin', and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. He's the DJ, I'm the rapper.
Love
so I've been listening to Will since like 1988.
Cool.
Not hard.
Sounds about right for both of us.
Of this stuff. Anyways, moving on from that. On Tuesday.
Okay, fine, Tuesday.
Botch. Renegade recap.
Balls. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I have no graphic for that one.
On Tuesday, we'll be going over and recapping everything that I've covered this past month in the movies with only one sequel, and kind of previewing what is to come in my month of Disney, going from Beauty and the Beast through the end of the Renaissance, roughly. Then on Wednesday, Jeff, with your trigger figure, you're ready to go. I know this is the one that James is looking most forward to. My Top Gun double feature.
Yeah, buddy.
God damn it!
3 o'clock, the review of Top Gun. 3:30, the review of Top Gun Maverick. That is 6 and 6:30 for y'all on the East Coast. Thursday, not confirmed yet, but I should be on the NoDQ review over on NoDQ.com. I've made it known in the group chat. I have private messaged Aaron. I've been told to remind them on Wednesdays. Also, Thursday will be the season finale of the Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi saga. And those of you that tuned in and watched the show, y'all know how special this episode was.
No doubt.
I will be getting deep into this.
There will be tears.
And then Friday.
Friday, I can't find the graphics, so talk slower.
On Friday.
Fuck it. I can't. Okay.
Okay, that's true.
Friday, I'll be picking up my month.
So Friday, he's starting his review of the Disney movies, and I don't have Beauty and the Beast queued up. I actually did the freaking typeface and everything, and now I can't find the microfeather.
Jeff just botching left and right today.
I'm pissed at myself. I'm not going to lie.
You're talking over me. On Friday, I'll be starting my month of Disney movies with Beauty and the Beast, picking up the Renaissance where I left off last year, doing Little Mermaid and Rescuers Down Under. As I said, Beauty and the Beast pretty much through the end of the Renaissance this month. On Saturday, I will have my review of Lightyear.
That one I had.
And man, oh man, was this movie epic. Like everything I wanted this movie to be, it was. If you grew up watching the Toy Story movies, if you know somebody that grew up watching the Toy Story movies, you will be sitting in the theaters much like Andy is right there. Maybe not with your toys next to you, but that look on your face in awe watching this movie, that will be you watching Lightyear. And that is all I will say until I get in depth with it this coming Saturday. Sunday, of course, will be the War Zone, another episode of the Weekly Acquisition Report, all my latest finds from Goodwills, and then Monday.
God damn it, everybody's texting me right now. Leave me alone. Yes.
My favorite princess, my favorite prince, Aladdin, and Jasmine.
I do have that one. Just hang on. I did. I know I did.
I'm looking forward to this, by the way.
God damn it, quit texting.
I know you are, James. I know you are. You've been itching for it since you went and saw it.
There it is.
So yeah, July 4th will be Aladdin, and then immediately following that will be the top 10 Will Smith songs. Like I said, that we will be pre-taping tomorrow. So like I said, come 4th of July Monday, if I'm still standing between all of that and trying to work during the week, Lord help me.
God bless you.
Lord
Jeff,
almighty.
take us home. What have you got coming up?
Oh, not as much as I didn't think you guys had.
Well,
Okay.
real quick, when is that Top Gun thing again? So I don't forget.
Monday or Wednesday.
Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday?
Yep.
Perfect.
For you, it'll be 6 and 6:30.
Awesome. I also want to just promote my tweet real quick that got retweeted like a muckerfutter real quick. If
Yes.
you don't mind.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Well done, James. You absolutely deserved it.
So this is the tweet. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go ahead and go on my Twitter. It's this handle right here under my name. This tweet now is currently sitting at 14 retweets, 2 quote tweets, and 39 likes. So it is gaining traction.
Quite so.
People seem to like
As it
my
should.
fantasy card, and I appreciate everybody for liking it. Definitely give that a watch when you can, or give it a retweet when you can. No plus.
Yes. All right. So we weren't sure about what was going to be covered after tonight, but thanks to Noah grabbing the graphic for me, I do have that ready now. That's the next AEW show we're going to be covering here. If it's not AEW, it's Ring of Honor. So there you go. But yeah, that'll be across the board. All 5 of us, again, on our channels, because Ring of Honor deserves all the recognition. Again, we don't have a set time. I would assume 6:30 and 8 again, because that's what we do on pay-per-view days, but we don't know, because all we have is tickets go on sale, which, by the way, go buy it. Oh yeah, it's in Lowell. Sell this mucker further out, people. Seriously, please go do that.
Hold on, I don't know if I will be there. I might actually go to this live if I can.
If you want to go to that live and provide us on site after, dude, I will be all the happies.
And you deserve it. I say do it.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah.
It's Ring of Honor's return. Like, we should all be able to go if we could. Damn.
I'm gonna see if I can talk to Casey about it and see what
all right.
Yeah,
so that's the
real,
next time we'll see.
into the chat room, you know,
Seriously.
live when you're waiting for the show to start, you know, live from your seat for the predictions and pre-show a little bit, and then
Absolutely
come back to us after the show.
That's it, dude.
100%, man. That would be cool.
So that's the next show for Ring of Honor / AEW Bubble. For the NWA, we will be live. Noah pointed this out a couple weeks ago to me. So 2 nights of NWA 74. That's coming up in August. The next, before that, we have SummerSlam weekend, which of course includes Ric Flair's last match, where I will be on play-by-play, God help me, along with whoever decides to pop in. The day before that, of course, is SummerSlam, one of the big 4, and post-show. And again, all these shows have post-show nights. I don't make it clear every time because I'm just so damn tired of making these graphics. Another watch-along is going, but the next watch-along we're going to do, period, is next Saturday. Money in the Bank, of course. And as I said earlier, you can buy your Hush Money in the Bank t-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com/Jeff Meacham Network. Thank you all for that idea. That was just tremendous, by the way. I love every one of you Mucker Brothers in this room. Love you.
You won't have it in time to be able to wear it while me and Noah call the action. But
that's right.
Damn it, buy it and support.
You ready,
Noah,
JJ?
As of right,
I am looking forward to sitting alongside you for another night of action, Noah. I had so much fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
The Red Crate of Hate and NXT the night prior to that. I am looking forward to Hush Money in the Bank.
We need to find a way to make a parody shirt for every B show just to get more shirts on the site. Good Lord.
I'm just waiting the next B show, what sort of weird slogan or change name to come up with. But Jada, yeah, I will say, like I said, engaging with you and sports entertainment is definitely a highlight for me from a commentary standpoint. I'm looking very forward to it.
I greatly appreciate the praise from you, Noah, and I love your Hufflepuff attire today.
Yes, I was going to say, myself and JJ's daughter are both Hufflepuff pride, brother. Absolutely.
I took the quiz.
As did I.
Too.
Yes, as did JJ's daughter. We are certified by the Rowling. So there you go.
Slytherin.
Well, that surprises nobody.
I'm green with MB.
As you should be. Anyway, so a place we can't be green because what's that? What?
It's a green like money.
And green like money, which Money in the Bank, it all ties together. And of course, you know, if you're not going to watch us, which whatever, you can always, of course, catch the post show shenanigans over at NoDQ.com with the full recap. So be sure to check that out. On the 17th, hopefully I'll be there live. Still haven't confirmed that with my connection yet, but either way, we will be rebroadcasting, which AJ pointed out to me many, many years ago is still a thing. It's on YouTube in full. The anniversary, the opening day of Disneyland back in 1955. We're going to be covering streaming that whole hour and a half presentation over at Twitter Redacted. It's in the corner.
Complete with time period commercials.
Yes, we'll be starting with our previews for July and whatnot. But yes, I actually went and found. Tried to do as many 55 as I could, but definitely 1950s era commercials for the original 33 Disney sponsors. So not all 33. I have 7 commercial breaks to work with on ABC. That's what I did. So that's that week. So this week itself, of course, you know, tomorrow's dads. We're talking about our boy John. 20 years. God, just hearing that he's been around for 20 years makes me feel even older than I already do. Good grief. Talk Wrestling, of course, is Tuesday.
Best matches.
That's right. Vacant's greatest moments, kids. The stuff you couldn't see, but you did anyway because that's the magic of television. Every Tuesday, of course, is Talk Wrestling. That's on all 4 of my main hubs, so be looking out for that. Wednesday, I'll be on the Greg Cherry Show as I do. Thursday, I will very likely simulcast an ODQ review, especially if you're on, Jay, because I want to make sure eyes get on you and your opinions. Friday at 6:05, the first of my 5 Flair Flashback Fridays. Blah, 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 that's gonna be a bitch to say all month. Starrcade 83, his second world title win in Greensboro in the cage at Starrcade. Flair for the gold, him and Harley for the 10 pounds of gold, which again, hard to top 10 pounds of gold as your showcase for your first mega show. And then again, Saturday's Money in the Bank. Saturday, July 16th. So I thought the 23rd was going to be my one day off. I forgot. I'm also off July 9th as of now. But July 16th, of course, I've been talking about it forever, it feels like. 15 years of talk wrestling. Very excited for that. I'm so happy that I get to celebrate. Everybody is welcome. Yes, even you. So come on in, join the party, join the shenanigans. And I've got some of the old clips. I've got some of the clips I swore I would never air again because I'm not much of a glutton for punishment.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, so it'll be fun. So we got a great month coming up, but definitely tune in this week. It's a busy week. We got something going on every day between James's channel, JJ's channel, and my channel. So
and Noah's channel as well.
And Noah's channel, and for the 90 you still around, God bless you guys for staying up late because it's 2:00 in the morning back east.
You got to figure this is another pay-per-view prediction week, so Noah's going to be on like 25 channels this week.
True enough, this is very true.
Yes,
it's very true. And at the end of the day, as we know, we will see Jim Ross on the next AEW show because he is the Noah Foster of All Elite Wrestling. So, Noah, we thank you for popping in as you always do. You get the Toledo fight song every week now, just because I said so. So, because that was I found out where you were. And it's like they actually have a fight song. I'm going to use it.
They do.
So there you go. Love it. But thank you guys very much. Thank you to all of you who watched at home and for the. I want to use the wording JJ used because it was so golden. Let me just get back to where it was. Hang on. There it is. The foul-mouthed, loudmouth himself, James Hebert. The simple man, Noah Foster. The renegade of wrestling tonight, JJ Williams. And myself, West Coast Professor Jeff Meacham. And everybody associated with all of our channels. We thank you for your patronage. We thank you for viewing the watch-along and open mic night. We will see majority of you tomorrow between Renegade's reviews of Kick-Ass 2 and Dad's Always a Wrestling. And throughout the week, on our affiliates, and of course, the Jeff Meacham Network. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday night.